Hello everyone, this is my fourth video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about gaslighting. Once again, the Gangstalking squad, they're a bunch of premeditating psychopaths. Okay, psychopaths are the people that can pull off gaslighting techniques like magic. I would like to know, what is the percentage of the population in the world that can pull off gaslighting techniques? I think it's very little. I think only the psychopaths can pull that off. I don't gaslight anybody. And it's very little, it's a very small percentage of people that can pull off gaslighting techniques. Okay, so what is gaslighting? It's a tactic done by the manipulator to make their victims doubt their reality. Okay. There's a movie about gaslight. There's a movie called Gaslight from the 1940s. I recommend you watch it. It's about a married couple where the husband is playing mind games with his wife. Gaslight. At the time, I didn't think there was electricity, or maybe there was, I don't know. But it's a gaslight, it's like a light bulb. So whenever she was in her bedroom by herself, he was going behind the wall and turning on and off the light bulb with a wire, I think. And she was like, "What's going on with the light? It's going on and off." And she would go and tell her relatives there, and the relatives would come back and they're like, "No, the light is going fine." But only every time that she was by herself, the psychopath was messing with that gaslight. So she thought she was going nuts. And her circle also thought she was going nuts because she was sharing it. This is very important. Sharing what was doing that psychopath to her, playing with that light. She was sharing that while the people, the audience, remember, street theater audience, the audience, her relatives or whoever came to check out the light bulb, the gaslight was fine because the psychopath was no longer playing with that in front of the audience. So the audience, what are the witnesses, are now starting to think that she's losing it. The psychopath ended up making a mistake, and this is when you can catch this gaslighting thing. He left a cigarette on the floor behind the wall, and I think somebody saw it, and they're like, okay, well, somebody's been here. So that someone stood there far away and noticed that psychopath at night went behind the wall and was playing with the electricity or whatever turned that gaslight on and off. Ooh. So now there's a witness. So she was never crazy. That's what psychopaths do with targets. They gaslight them all the time. And why would they do that? To make them doubt their reality, to have them locked up in the psych ward. The purpose of this husband was to have her locked up in the psych ward. So if she didn't share that information, nobody would label her as paranoid or like, you're losing it. The gaslight is fine. But she shared it. Because it's whack that the gaslight was going on and off by itself. That didn't happen in the 1940s. He had to go behind the wall and start messing with it. Psychopath, once again, gaslighting. So she starts getting like, what's going on? That's not normal. And then she goes and shares it. And everybody's thinking, no, you're losing it. I think you're losing it. We're going to have you. She's losing it. But the purpose, again, was for the husband to have her locked up, have her wealth, and not, instead of like doing the normal thing, what people do that cannot pull gaslighting techniques, what they do is like, hey, let's file a divorce, half for me, half for you. The husband didn't want to do that. Psychopaths love money. Their ambition by far exceeds their talent. The psychopaths can pull off gaslighting like magic. There should be a study by these data collectors. How many people in the world can pull that off? I can guarantee you only psychopaths can. And this is why this gangstalking thing, it's full of psychopaths. Not one. A whole gang of them. And if you Google what a psychopath is, somebody that doesn't feel anything for anybody. And they can pull off, it is them who can pull off the gaslighting techniques on their targets. Okay? So for the ones that don't know, or for the ones that haven't experienced a gaslighting technique, let me give you another scenario so you understand what targets go through, okay, on a daily basis. And this is why it is very difficult to explain to target individuals' support system that she's being gang stalked, because she's being attacked by not one, but a whole gang of professional psychopaths with gaslighting techniques. Okay, let's say you live by yourself in your home and your refrigerator is empty and you just have milk, eggs, and bacon for a whole week. The next morning you wake up, your milk is missing. You're like, okay. You look everywhere in the house and what happened? I thought I left it there. The milk is not in the house. You look in your car, it's not there, and you're probably like, oh, I probably left it at the store. You know? Oh, whatever, you go buy another milk. Put it in the fridge, make your breakfast, okay. Next morning, you go to your fridge, the milk is missing again. What? Did I drink milk last night? So you're like, okay, whatever. You go to the store, buy another milk, put it in the fridge, make your breakfast. Third day, third morning, the milk is missing again. So you're like, okay, somebody's playing games with me. The first few times you're like, whatever, right? But when it happens too many times, you start waking up. And this is what targets go through. They start waking up. They're like, okay, somebody's messing with me. So you go to the store, you buy milk, you go to Home Depot, buy a new lock. You're thinking, somebody's messing with me, I'm gonna change the locks. You buy a new lock, put the milk there. The next morning you make your breakfast. New lock, new. Next morning, the milk is missing again. Now you're starting to get pissed off. And remember, if you share this, sounds whack. And that's exactly what the psychopath wants. They want you to share what they're doing to you. That's sick. So if the target individual goes to their relatives and say, oh, I bought milk every day and it's missing. I bought a new lock. They're gonna be like, she's starting to get paranoid. Nope. This is what these psychopaths do. So the target goes to Home Depot again, buys a security camera. So now has a new lock, security camera, sets it all up, goes to sleep. The next morning, the milk is missing again. Goes to the recording of the camera, and there's nothing, there's no evidence. Because these professional psychopaths have another professional team that are called black bag jobs, who can break into any car, any home, any building, with security cameras. They can adjust everything. So the target individual is like, there's no record of anybody coming in. There's no evidence. Yet my milk is missing. Now they start playing with the target individual's mind. That's what that's what these psychopaths do. They make their reality, doubt their reality. That's what they're good at. Normal people don't do that. They do that on targets all the time. Especially with their payments, especially with their money. Because they have access to all their devices. They have access to all their bank accounts. and they can adjust numbers. They won't make the entire money disappear in one day, because that would be obvious. Where the entire money go? It's gradual, very little, to make it look okay, to make it look normal. It only takes a few years to make a target individual homeless. It's not done in one day, but these gaslighting techniques are used on them. So the target individual is like, so now this target's paranoid. It's like, what is going on here? And now they send cops to park outside this target individual's house. And if you Google it, cops are involved in gang stalking. But they don't do anything. They don't even knock on the door. They just park outside. Why would they do that? To mess with their head. Once again, they're trying to mess with their reality. This is what psychopaths do, to doubt their reality. So now the target individual is a little paranoid here, doubting their reality, and there are cops outside. So once again, it's a psychological game. And target individuals who haven't done anything, who are innocent, on the contrary, would be like, hey, police officer, thank you for taking care of my property. Hey, by the way, can you investigate who's been cutting my tires? Can you investigate who's been, I think, staging car accidents? Don't be afraid of them. They are getting paid to investigate and to protect you. You know? So gaslighting is a tactic that psychopaths use to mess with your reality, to mess with your mind, and they do it all the time. And it's a tactic to frame you with paranoia, mental illness, schizophrenia, to have you locked up in the psych ward. They are very good at it, extremely good. They're premeditating psychopaths. They're trying to destroy your life without leaving an evidence behind. And if you reach out for help, just like that movie, she was reaching out for help. Hey, guess what's up? The light is going on and off. And the relatives were like, no, the gas light is not going on and off. You're just a whack. She was never whack. The psychopath was going behind the wall, turning the light bulb on and off while she was in the bedroom by herself. So when you have evidence of these gaslighters, of these psychopaths, that because they're really good, but they're not perfect, they occasionally make a mistake. And this is when a target individual needs to document that mistake and say, hey, here, how come Bank of America closed my account? I mean, how come, let's say, Bank of America, on my statements, is not showing that I did hundreds of dollars in gasoline transactions, yet on this one shows different. Which one is real, which one is not? Oops. They do the gaslighting on target individuals' payments all the time to frame them as if you forgot to make your payments. Or they send them bills from years ago. How they love that money. Normal people don't do that. Only criminals do that. Only psychopaths do that. And Gangstalking is full of these psychopaths who take advantage of other people. They use other people to get themselves rich. And it's not fair, because you as a target individual wants to work. You do your 10 steps to make that check. They don't. They don't do those 10 steps. They don't want to. It's too much for them. Instead, they do 1, 5, and 10 at the most. They're very good at getting away with it too. They're from the underground. They're dark, from the underworld. It's like a whole thing. So gangstalking is human trafficking via organized crime by professional psychopaths who are constantly framing people, who have perfected the way on how to frame people with crime so they can have them locked up in prison, or who have perfected the way to have any perfectly healthy person to have them locked up in a psych ward via gaslighting techniques. For the psychiatrist watching this, if you're taking care of mentally ill people and you're doing a good job about it, then I am good for you. But if you're one of those that is using professional psychopaths to traffic perfectly healthy adults to the psych ward, then it is considered human trafficking, isn't it? I wonder how many women have been trafficked to the psych ward by these psychopaths. So these psychiatrists can have patients. So these psychiatrists with a PhD can live in a mansion. So that's what gaslighting is. Gaslighting is a tactic done by psychopaths to frame people with mental illnesses that they do not have. And the only ones that can pull that off like magic are psychopaths. Gangstalking is human trafficking via organized crime, and all of them are psychopaths. The only thing that they care about is making money using people. And I need to make people aware of this. They need to take care of themselves. Target individuals need to expose this when these gaslighters make a mistake. Boom. I have you now. I have you now. And when you have that evidence, you're a threat. You are a threat. It's no longer funny anymore for them. Before, they were laughing at you, right? But when they when they made a mistake gaslighting you and you have that evidence, you win. Now they probably want you dead. Now they're probably thinking, oh shit. Right? Because if they have been making your payments disappear to frame you with forgetfulness or to put you on a long road to recovery list, or to frame you with paranoia because they've been messing with your head, when you have that evidence that they've been gaslighting you and you can expose it, it's no longer funny for them. Now you're a threat. You can mess up and expose their whole game. So this is when target individuals need to take advantage. When they make the mistake, they are, like I said, these professionals, they are professionals. These professional premeditated psychopaths have it all figured out like a science on how to traffic people to prison, on how to traffic people to the psych ward. So when they make that mistake, it is only then when you grab that evidence and you figure out how to print it, how to save it in multiple USBs, because they're gonna damage your computer, they're gonna damage your phone. They will figure out how to steal your phone. Remember, phones, the target individuals, their devices are tracked. Their devices, it's a GPS. Even if the phone is off, it's a GPS. They want that. You cannot have that. You cannot expose them. They will freak out. Have you seen an earthworm? What happens to an earthworm when you pull it out of the earth and put it under the sun, if they're exposed, if an earthworm, if that parasite is exposed to the sun, it dehydrates and it dies. The sun is like the exposure to the sun. Same thing. These parasites, who are very good at it, you expose them, that's what you want, because they've been making you, the entire time they've been making you, sending their cops to park in front of your house, to keep you under fear. For what? What did I do? I didn't do anything. To gaslight you via changing your picture frames, to cut your tires, hate crime. To make you look all paranoid. You're not paranoid. Target individuals are not paranoid. They're being attacked by professionals. And when target individual complains, and that's exactly what these psychopaths want. They want the target individual to complain. Just like that movie. As soon as she complained about the gaslight, everybody came to check and they were like, no, there's nothing wrong with the gaslight. It's in your head. Only psychopaths can pull that off like magic. It's not in my head. So who should be locked up in the psych ward is not target individuals. It's not that wife of that psychopath. It's the psychopath. Who should be locked up in a psych ward or in prison. It is these psychopaths. So what is gangstalking? Gangstalking is organized crime by a bunch of criminal psychopaths. They're very dangerous, by the way. What is crime? What is justice? What is justice? Isn't justice investigation supposed to take care of the law? Is there a law there? Do not trespass. What are these black bag job teams trespassing target individuals' properties for? Is there a warrant? Why are they changing furniture? Why are they stealing valuables? Who's doing the crime here? They're setting you up. They don't like you. They don't like you. They want to see you behind bars. They want to see you locked up in the psych ward in misery. That's their goal. That's how they get off. They don't like you. They all hate you. It's a whole gang of them. They're messed up. And you haven't done anything. They're constantly setting you up via gaslighting techniques. So you can end up in situations for defamation or for entrapment, or even to set you up in a scenario where you can be labeled as like national security threat when you are like just trying to like get help. Once again, when the victim of psychopaths try to go get help, it's another way to frame them. That's exactly what the psychopaths want. They want you to go get help. And there's not much evidence, right? So when these psychopaths make a mistake, because they don't leave any evidence behind, this is why target individuals are framed as paranoid. But when these psychopaths make a mistake, you document that mistake. And guess what? Good luck with that paranoia schizophrenia setup. There's no paranoia here. There's no mental illness here. Now you have that evidence, and I'm actually gonna make a video of like what psychopathy and what these psychopaths can pull it off like magic. But when you have that evidence, And you're like, haha, check this out. Check this out. When a target individual has that evidence of that gaslighting thing that didn't work, you grab it, you turn off your phone, you export that evidence, export it to multiple USB drives. Figure out how to hide them, give them to all your friends. Guess what? Check this out. Because if you keep that evidence, because you're keeping in that evidence, either you document it with a camera or with a phone, and they know they remember these gadgets are all GPS tracked. So when you have that evidence, you turn off your phone, you wrap it in aluminum foil, because even if you turn off, they can erase that. That's how good they are. They can send their technicians close by. They need to be close by to you to change things in your phone and delete evidence, all right? You delete the stuff. You turn off your phone, you wrap it in aluminum foil. Once you have that evidence, then you go somewhere else far. You export it. You export all that evidence in multiple USB drives. And then you give it to, hey, can you hold this for me? Can you hold this? To your friends, relatives. There. That's how you do it. You have to be fast, because it's not fair. These psychopaths are making fun of you when you have done anything. It's not fair that they are getting rich at the expense of your property. It's not fair that they're sharing your sex life, having a laugh. It's not fair that they're selling you to the highest bidder for deadly experiments at the expense of the health, the privacy of your body. And you as a target individual are left out with nothing and poor when you just want to work. You haven't done anything. Is it fair? It's not fair, right? So, gangstalking is human trafficking via organized crime. Nobody says, hey, I want to be a human trafficker when I grow up. Only psychopaths traffic people. You have to be that mentally messed up, that don't care about somebody else's life, to use them as animals or whatever that you can profit from. You have to be that evil to be like, hey, I'm just gonna hack her bank account, make it all disappear. Ha, that's funny. That's whack. We have those people with a jail-free card who are setting up perfectly healthy people, mostly women, to be locked up in the psych ward. It's not fair that they're getting away with it, is it? Who's investigating? Let's investigate. Let's do an honest investigation. I dare you to investigate my bank accounts. What happened? Right? So for target individuals, gaslighting, hey, they do it all the time. But when they make that mistake, you document it. If it's in your phone or in anything that's Wi-Fi, they know that you have it. You wrap it in aluminum foil, and then that gadget disappears from their radar. You're like, oh, they start freaking out. Figure out how to export it in multiple USBs. Give it to your friends, relatives, everybody. And that's how you do it. If anything happens to you, guess what? Check this out. It's gonna be linked. It's all linked. Or really, police officer, you don't want to investigate? Well, Here you go. Is anybody telling you not to investigate? Has anybody gave you heads up not to investigate my case? Well, here you go. Get it? That's what targeted individuals need to start doing. That's it. All right, this is it for my gaslighting video. Stay safe, document, and stay healthy, document. All right, bye, take care.